Getting more new followers is not where the money is, okay? Getting new leads, people who stand up and specifically identify themselves. Hey, I'm Amber McDuffie, and I help course creators to sell more of their course by really focusing on the different parts of the customer journey. So that is what I'm going to go over with you today. I'm going to teach you what the different parts of the customer journey are, so that you can kind of pull out what is it maybe that you're not doing enough of, or maybe you're doing too much of. You're focused only on one piece and it's not helping people move through the customer journey to actually purchasing your course. So I'm going to show you here the customer journey that pretty much everyone goes through, including you, when you buy something. So it's not just about online marketing. This is how people make buying decisions in general, and kind of the process that they have to work through and go through before they decide to make a purchase. So when you understand that, then you can actually use that, kind of to your advantage and say, oh, okay, well, if this person is only at this part of the customer journey, instead of me trying to get them immediately to buy something from me, why don't I just move them to the next phase of the customer journey and on through the rest of it until they make a purchase. So by doing that, you can actually have a lot more control over the sales that come into your business, because you're not trying to force people to make a decision when they're really not ready. Okay, so there's 3 levels to it. It's really 4, but 3 levels. We're going to get to the 3rd level because we're just talking today about how to make sales. It is very possible that you're doing a lot of things right, but there's something missing there that is keeping people from actually making a purchase from you. So the very top section of the customer journey is lead generation. You have to have new people coming into your business and learning about your business on a regular basis, like a constant regular basis, in order to see constant, consistent sales, okay? Then level 2 is actually building a relationship with those people. So when they first learn about you, they don't know anything. They don't know if you are honest. They don't know if you're a scam. They don't know if you can actually do what you say you can do, or if you're just going to take their money and run. So you have to get to know them. They need to get to know you and build an actual relationship with you. And then the 3rd level is to actually make sales and to turn that new relationship into a sale. So let's kind of break it down and go through each part and what that looks like in your business. And maybe you can detect where it is that you're not doing enough of something, so that you can start focusing on all 3 levels. Because in order to have consistent sales, you really do have to have all 3 of these at play at the same time, all the time. Okay. And that might sound scary, but it is the truth. It is the reality. And this is another reason why some people burn out in their business, because they're like, I can't do all the things. So you either have to automate some of these pieces or hire someone to do each of these pieces, because each area could really be a full-time job. So if you really have in your head that you think you can do all 3 of these manually by yourself, that's not realistic. It's not realistic to be able to do all 3 well, okay? And for it to actually translate into more sales in your business. So let's look at that first section. It's the largest section. This is where you're gonna get the most people, the most eyes on your actual business, meaning people who are just first coming into contact with you. And as you go down the customer journey pyramid, you'll notice it gets smaller because fewer and fewer people actually make it down to the bottom. But in that very first section, you have to have more people to come in, because only a certain percentage of them are actually going to move through to the next level. So in order to get constant lead generation, right, this is actually where a lot of people make a mistake. And they make this part manual. And a huge thing that people are doing is using organic social media. And it's because you've been told, that you can build a business for free, or that if you just stay consistent on social media, it is eventually going to turn into sales. And here's the thing, that is true. If you stay consistent with social media and constantly grow and build your profile and your following, those people will grow a relationship with you over time. But it's not fast enough, right? But in order to get the type of momentum that is going to allow you to use organic social media as your lead generation, that takes years. Or that then becomes your full-time job. Okay, is lead generation, getting more followers, and then getting those followers to actually maybe opt into something and to get onto your email list. And if that is your full-time job, is just managing your social media to get more eyeballs on your business, then how are you going to focus on the other two areas, right? Level 2 and level 3. You can't, not by yourself, okay? So with your lead generation, this is the area that I recommend that you automate, because I feel like it's the easiest part to automate. And it is the area where you can actually improve your results if you automate it. So with organic social media, right? Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube, anything, everyone who comes into contact with your business organically is not necessarily your ideal client. Okay. And that's true on any of the platforms. I think YouTube gets you a little bit closer because often people are, searching for content specifically to help them solve a problem. And if they come across your content, everything isn't searched. But if they come across your content, maybe that's the first way that they find your business, then that means they were looking specifically for something that you offer. On other social media channels, sometimes your content is just suggested to people because your content is engaging and it's popular, but that does not mean that every person who watches your content and comes in contact with it is your ideal client. Whereas when you use paid ads, and specifically Facebook and Instagram ads, right? You can actually tell Facebook who your target audience is and say, hey, I want you to show my ad to these specific types of people. So you can kind of preset it to be shown to your ideal audience, and the type of content that you want to show them is content that gets them to opt into your email list. So now, not only are you showing your content to the right kind of people, to the specific type of person who would be most likely to purchase your course, but you're also getting them to take an action. You're getting them to stand out, raise their hand, and say, hey, I am actually literally interested, so much so that I'm willing to give you my personal information, which is their email address. So now, not only have they stood out and made it very clear how interested they are in your business, but you now have a way to connect with them further on the next level and build a relationship because you now have their email address. Whereas with organic social media, just because they may be engaged with your content or looked at it, you don't really have a way to specifically get back in front of them so that you can start working on building that relationship. Even if they start to follow your account, maybe they start to see more of your content, you don't really have any control over how many people see that content. Whereas with ads, when you start with that lead gen ad, right? You've already told Facebook, these are the people that I want you to show it to. So you can automate that. You no longer have to post every single day. I do still recommend that you post. I personally took some time off, right? So I was building out a brand new offer and it needed my attention and my time. So I literally stopped posting on Instagram for 8 weeks. And when I turned on my ads probably about 3 weeks in, because I could start getting my leads going, even though I was still working on different parts of my offer. I was still, in that first week of turning that ad on, I got 70 email subscribers. 70. Remember, it's really important for those people to stand up and say, hey, I am actually interested. I am actually in your target audience. Whereas when you're just doing organic stuff, you don't actually know. You have no idea if those people who see your content are really that interested. Are they just lurking? Or are they inspired by you? Are they really your colleague, at the same level and saying, hey, I just want to keep up with you and maybe one day we can partner, which is good too, but in the current moment, if you're looking to make sales, you really need your target audience to be seeing your content on a regular basis. So with those ads, I was able to stop posting and came out even better on the other side. Even after 8 weeks, I still had not posted anything, but yet my email list continued to grow. It had gotten up to 200 brand new email subscribers who were definitely in my target audience, who I had already started to help because they were opting into a lead magnet that solved a part of their problem. So already there was like a little give and take there, right? I was already helping people and them getting a chance to get to know me and what I'm able to do. When you just focus on that new lead generation, because you can build up your leads more quickly with organic strategies if you focus intently on it. But because there's so much effort that has to go into making the type of content that's going to get someone to opt in, okay, it's going to be very hard to focus on anything else. And if you want to make sales, you have to be focusing on everything. So that alone could be the thing that you're doing wrong currently, and why you're not making more sales is because you are just focused on this one piece of trying to get more people, new eyes. There's a huge thing out there about, I got to get more followers. Getting, just more followers, that's not monetization, okay? You're not trying to get brand deals. You're trying to sell your course and help people specifically, with that solution that you offer. So getting more new followers is not where the money is, okay? Getting new leads, people who stand up and specifically identify themselves. So let's go on to the second section, and that is the relationship building. I will say that this is probably the area that gets neglected the most. I'm not exempt from that, okay? Sometimes we forget that it's not just about getting more people and letting everything be automated, because in this section, this is where you're going to have that welcome sequence. So once people opt in to your email list and they're now a new lead, you automatically should have an email sequence set up that really nurtures them over that first 2 weeks. So you want at least 5 emails in there over the first 2 weeks, so that if you get busy doing something else and you're not consistently emailing, those brand new people do have a way to continue to hear from you, right? So that they don't forget about you, because if they've only heard of you one time and they opted in and you don't mention anything to them again, for 2 weeks, the moment that they see an email from you, they're going to start to question, now who is that again? What is this? Spam, right? And they're going to mark you as spam or unsubscribe, or just completely forget why they even interacted with you in the first place. So it's great to have that email sequence set up, and there is a way to do that to where you do start to build a relationship. But here's the thing about a relationship. It's 2 ways, okay? It's a 2-way thing. It's not a one-way. It's not, I emailed you and now we have a relationship. There has to be some interaction, some engagement in some way. And to me, truly, that's what the social media is for, right? So instead of constantly focusing on new followers, focus on nurturing and building, something genuine with the people who do currently follow you. And so the same thing with email. How do you build a genuine relationship with the people who are on your email list? And this is something that I personally have been working on more, because that matters to me. I feel like you don't want to treat people who are on your email list just like a number. That is going to be another way that's going to make it a struggle for you to make more sales. And possibly something that you might be doing wrong is you're just treating them as, well, I have, these 70 new leads that joined me in 1 week. Yeah, but what did you do with those leads? How did you build a real genuine connection? The part about the genuine is you don't want to make it seem like, or even not just seem, you don't want it to be that you're just trying to make a sale. Okay, so that you're just connecting with them because that's the next step on the customer journey, and that they're magically going to feel that and start to, want to buy from you. I do have set up in my email sequence on that very first email where it encourages people to reply back to me, right? So immediately I'm getting that engagement and that interaction, right? Still a tactic that is still, it's good to do. It gets people kind of interacting with you, but it's still surface level. And so the magic happens in my reply back, okay? And so I had somebody who had replied to me, and I sat there stuck because I wanted to reply back to her, but I was like, I don't, what do I say so that this doesn't feel nasty? Like I'm just trying to encourage her to go to the next step of making, purchasing something and that I want to sell. And that is tricky. That is a very delicate little dance to do, because you don't really know that person yet. And so it becomes of, what do you say back? Do you capitalize on the opportunity and let them know that hey, I'd love to set up a consult call with you, or, hey, in case you didn't get a chance to find out more about this? Or do you just reply back, keep it open-ended? Because the thing that I'm requesting is just for them to tell me more about their business, kind of where they are, what tier they are in business. Have you made a couple of course sales? Have you tried ads before, that kind of thing. But when somebody replies to me, then how do I really use that time to just be a good person, just to be someone who's listening, a good listener, basically, instead of a pusher, trying to push them through to the next level. You can't rush this. You can't make it more intense than what it is, because when people interact with you and engage with you, they're interacting with you as an individual and who they are. And that's going to matter. So I can't interact with everybody the same way. That's why that part is not even automated. I have it built in the interaction to get started, to be initiated, but the follow-up has to be genuine. And I just remember one time, this girl, she and I were in a program together, and I had congratulated her. I think she had posted somewhere that she had made some great sales, and I congratulated her. And she took that opportunity of me engaging with her to come back and say, well, what are your goals for this year? And what's your plan to reach your goals this year? And it just immediately felt like she was going to try to sell me something. And it didn't feel good. Like, I'm just genuinely happy and proud for you. Like, I'm not reaching out to become your customer. After that, it kind of turned me off, and I had just made a decision right then, like, I will probably never interact with her again, because she just pushed me to an edge where I'm just like, I didn't like that. Don't try to sell me anything. I really just wanted to say I'm happy for you. So I felt the same way when I did reply back to the woman who had replied to my email sequence, and she was just answering the question of where she was in her business. And I did actually try to say something like, well, hey, I'm just letting you know. Or I didn't let her know about the consult, but I had asked her kind of a follow-up question about her goals and about, or just where she was with a certain piece of her sales. And it basically just was all business. I was nice, but it was business. And I don't think that makes sales. I don't think it has to be about, now we're best friends, now we're friends, now we can call each other on the phone and hang out. But you do want there to be a friendly, genuine interaction. Just today, I was over getting a repair or an update. What am I trying to say? I was just trying to get a quote for some like remodeling that we're doing for our rental property. And, some of the time I was just having a good time. Like, we were not having a good time. I was just talking to the guy, just saying some regular things like, oh, well, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And even though I had initiated, talking to him about giving us a quote, he still wasn't trying to be pushy and, make it about the sale. So he just listened to all the stuff that I wanted. And in between there, we just had genuine conversation. So you have to have genuine conversation. And it does not always have to be business related in order for it to continue to be a business relationship. And then the final section is gonna be sales, okay? This a lot of the times boils down to making enough offers, because I do find that more people are focusing on sales and focusing on the fact that they know they have to make some offers, but oftentimes it's not making enough offers. The other mistake is that they're going straight from level 1 of becoming lead to level 3 of becoming, trying to make somebody a customer, and they didn't focus on the relationship. But even if they did focus on the relationship, if they're not making enough offers, then people don't open every single email. People don't see every bit of communication that you send out and put in front of them. So you have to have enough out there for them to be able to connect to it. So then you start to say, well, how much is enough? And you do have to know your own numbers, okay? But here's an example. So, in looking at my own sales page and recognizing my own sales page and my own communication, let's say emails, right? Based on my sales emails, each sales email will kind of result in at least 3 to 5 clicks to my sales page. So that's 3 to 5 views. But if a sales conversion, let's say on average, a sales conversion rate is going to be 2%, right? 2% of 100. I would want at least 100 to 150 even views of my sales page before I can say something's wrong, okay? So if you feel like, well, I'm not getting any sales and I am making offers, you need to look at your sales page and actually look at how many people viewed the page, because those are the people who are saying that they're interested. So if they're on your email list, first of all, they've opted in and said that they're interested in your business. So you know that you're showing this offer to the right people. Second, at that given time, at that point in time, who actually clicked through to your sales page? The sales page is still kind of a warming up of the sale. The checkout page is them saying, I think I'm ready to buy. And the sales page should do the majority of that work. But in an email, if you're sending them straight to your checkout page, let's get 100 to 150 views on that thing, okay? So when they are looking at that sales page, if I'm only getting 3 to 5 clicks on that sales page from my email, right? And I know I need 100, then I need to be sending between 20 to 33 sales emails, right? Or making 20 to 33 offers. Maybe they're not all emails, maybe some of those offers come through my video content or my social media content, but more opportunities for people to be able to click through and get on that page and say, hey, I do think I want to buy. I'm ready for that step now. And so of them, out of that percentage, if you're not getting 1 to 3% of those people to convert, then you want to take a look at that page and say, what can I do here? And if it's not the page itself, it's not the language on the page, then likely it's the offer. Okay, so what are you offering? Because it could be one or the other. Maybe you're talking about your offer in an amazing way, but it's not what people actually want. It's not what's actually going to meet their need. Or maybe you do have an amazing offer and it's designed really based on the research that you've done with your audience about what they need, but you aren't really sure how to make the offer. You're not really sure how to position it so that people want it and actually have a demand for it, right? So those two pieces go into the sales as well. So this is something that I also help with in all of these areas, how to actually generate those leads, put that on autopilot so that you're not focusing on that, so that you can put more time into building the relationship. I spend my best emails, I don't spend any less than an hour on them. I don't spend an hour on every single email, but my best ones, the ones where I get the most engagement and click through and opens, are the ones that I really put a lot of time in it. And that is kind of the relationship building where you're creating content, creating credibility, creating opportunities for engagement. And if you're spending all your time on lead gen, then you can't do that. So automate the lead gen with your Facebook and Instagram ads, focus on those emails. And then those emails are also going to come in play at that last step where you're making sales pitches. You can also be inviting people onto consult calls. So the consult call itself is a level 2 activity where you're building that relationship with people. And then level 3 is where you're turning them into a buyer on that consult call. If you are struggling to get more sales, it's likely because you're leaving one of these 3 stages out. Maybe you're taking them straight from a new lead all the way down to a sale. Or maybe they haven't even become a lead. Maybe you're assuming they're a lead because they follow you on social media, right? And then you're trying to pitch them your offer. Or maybe it is that you have a great relationship with people and you're at level 2, right? But you haven't gotten any new leads in the last, 3 to 6 months. So you keep pitching your offer and going and trying to take those same exact people that you have this beautiful relationship with. They love you. They've been on your list for the longest time, right? But they've already seen your offer. They don't want or need that offer. So you've got 2 options there. You either create a new offer and keep creating new offers, which can also lead to that burnout because then now they're not really sure what to come to you for. And you're constantly having to rework and make new sales pages and make new funnels and make new marketing material to get them to buy it. And you never can focus on the other pieces, right? So that's either your option, or you have to get new people so that you can build a relationship over time and then actually turn them into buyers. Some customer journeys are, 6 months that they need to be with you because of what that price tag is. And they just need to make sure that you are a real person and not just genuine, but you actually know what you're talking about and doing before they spend that type of money with you. But no matter what your customer journey is, before you assume that having put each of these 3 things in place, that something's going wrong, you need to have done it for 90 days. And you're likely at 90 days, right? For whatever your current strategy is. So if that's not working, if that is not working right now, then you need to make a change. You need to go back and look at, well, what am I doing to try to get more sales And have I been doing that consistently for 90 days? If so, and you're not getting results, then something needs to change, right? Which one of these 3 areas could you see yourself improving on? Do you need more leads? Are you getting at minimum 10 new email subscribers per week with whatever strategy that it is that you're using, right? If not, then maybe you need to focus on that first. If you are getting that, then are you building a real connection with these people? Are you providing opportunities for them to get to know you and for you to get to know them and their real needs so that you can have a clear understanding of how to serve and support them with your offer? And then, are you making enough offers? How many people do you need to get on that sales page? How many people are you getting on that sales page? So you might be saying it's not working, but it might just be that you don't have enough people clicking through and actually seeing that page. So if you don't have enough people getting to your sales page and getting to know your offer and then getting through to your actual checkout page, then that's what you need to work on, especially if you already have all 3. So when you understand this customer journey, you can identify where it is that you might be lacking something, how it is that you can improve it, like what is it that I need to do at each of these levels to make this better. Do that consistently for 90 days before you assume it's not working, and then you can determine, do I have a good sales system here? If you want some more marketing tips on how you can sell your course, then I want you to watch this video next on 4 sales strategies.